Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you a crazy fun gold farm that you can do on, I prefer a brewmaster monk, but I think any tank would work to do this farm, and is going to be soloing Grim Batol on normal mode, and then processing the loot in the best possible ways that I have found. I've put many hours at this, just sort of picking it out and seeing what you can do and how it works, and just the sheer raw gold and potions and things that really help it out and the farm to do it. So essentially you need a decently geared brewmaster monk. I'm 389 with just the pretty much raid finder gear and valor gear of 397. I don't really have anything too special, trinkets, weapon. Like anyone can get this gear in about a day of doing Twilight dungeons. Like, it's not that difficult to get. I will be utilizing a Flask of the Winds, a Skewered Eel for more HP. You can also use faps because sometimes they stun you, but you don't really have to be paying attention to that. Then for my talents, Tiger Lust, Chi Wave, Ascension, Leg Sweep, Dampen Harm. Leg Sweep is massive for this, and I will show you guys a few things that you can use the Leg Sweep for to do it. But you're also going to want a Potion of Treasure Finding because this gives you additional loot. And then as professions, I am a tailor in order to get additional cloth. You will also want to have an enchanter on some point to DE items and things. So the DE threshold here for Kata stuff is anything level 83 or higher, you're going to want a DE. If it is a weapon, for sure DE it at 83 or higher. If it is lower than 83, you're going to want to sell it. Just based on the enchanting mat prices and stuff, that's the threshold that I'm going to be operating under. So I would also highly recommend that you have a Tundra's Traveler Mammoth, so that way you can repair when you die, as well as you have a vendor ready to go for if you fill up, because you could do 6 to 8 of these pulls. I like to pull about 10 mobs at a time, go through there and do that. So I will show you a few of those pulls, what they look like, and how I survive, as well as a few little tricks that you can utilize as well. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it and get after this hour of pulling, and I'll see you then. Whoop. Alrighty guys, so here's one of the hardest pulls to do off the rip, and I want to just make sure I show you exactly what I like to do running in here. We get them like this, we pop guard, we're going to do our spinning crane kick, water barrel, keep going like that. Important to note on Brewmaster is to make sure you're picking up stuff, and you're going to want to hit them with the leg sweep. This is why leg sweep is so dang important, and just really allocate a lot towards self-healing, and make sure you're picking up the orbs. So as a brewmaster, you spawn orbs, and you always want to make sure your statue is down. But that is an example of a little pull. Now, something super unique is some of these mobs, eventually later on in the dungeon, drop a field. I believe it's some of the Dragonkin, these guardians, I think. They drop a little field of glowing stuff on the ground. And when you stand in that, you do 50% more damage, but everything that stands in it does 50% more damage. So you want to be very, very careful with that, and always make sure that you're putting your statue down, because you do not want them to be in it. And if you bring everyone in it to do the 50% more damage, make sure that you are using your leg sweep at that moment, so you can get 5 seconds of 50% damage uninterrupted and killing all of the mobs here. So anytime you're dipping, just go ahead, use your leg sweep. Make sure you're using your fire breaths and spinning to winning, maintain guard on cooldown, all those fun little tricks, and you'll be able to kill all this trash in no time and get some very, very nice loot. So anyway, I will show you how I navigate the second boss room, but essentially I pull the entire Grim Batol. We go to right here, and then when I'm done, I just jump off the cliff because the res is right outside and reset. So you don't have to do that, but I think it is the fastest way, and you get enough gold to repair anyway. So anyway, I'm going to finish pulling this, and I will show you some more tips. Alrighty guys, so there's these Crimson born warlords and Azure born warlords that drop the field I was talking about, and you want to make sure, as you see right here, so we're going to stun them, we're going to stand in this field, and we are going to do a ton of damage. We want to make sure that this brood here is not in there. So because he was in there, we got pretty messed up. So we are going to have to kite here and heal a little bit before we can get back after it. but you just got to be very cautious of that and aware, because it will kill you faster than anything else if you do not properly manage that. And then we're going to utilize LOS here. And then when the boss is coming, we're going to want to make sure that he does not hit us. So as you can see, it shattered our armor, and that is constantly doing a little dot to us. So that was a very sketchy pull, and probably the most risky one that you want to do. So the boss is right there, and how to avoid the boss when you're pulling this room is to just hang around the outer edges. If you sit at the outer edge of these altars in this little lair, you'll be able to pull them without risking pulling the boss. And it actually works as a nice LOS here too. So you can sit right here, drop your statue, and then continue to blast them. If the boss is gone, you can look to bring them in. These deceitful blasts actually hurt quite a bit, and you can even switch from advert harm to dampen harm to the magical one if you want to, and you're finding yourself dying here. But as a blood elf with the arcane blast, as well as using my leg sweep ability, I find it to be not that big of an issue, and I'm able to successfully mitigate all the damage using my expel harm and cheat wave. So just be careful with these pulls, and this is how you're going to go about the side right here, like that. So anyway, just wanted to show you that and the blue stuff that you can use and how not to die. So anyway, I'm going to be showing you guys the final results after an hour of farming, and I'll see you then. Alrighty guys, we finished up our farm. We were just a little bit over the 1 hour mark, but if you're really fast, really efficient, no mistakes, don't die, you can get 4 runs of Grim Batol trash clear in an hour. We netted almost 100 and over 103 bolts of silk cloth. I'll have that final number when we're done, but you are going to use these bolts of silk cloth to make ember silk bags. This is the best bang for your buck on the average from what I've seen from mathing it out and DEing. I could have got very unlucky with my DEs, but making ember silk bags with all the dust you get from DEing a lot of these greens is very key. So like I said, for our green threshold that we got here, anything that is level 83 or higher, so like this weapon right here, is worth DEing. 83 and up, worth DEing. Under 83, so 80, 81, 82, you're going to sell that. If it is 7 gold and it is 80 below 83, you can DE it, but a lot of the armor pieces actually have a lot more gold in them, and it's like this, an 81 leather legs that is worth 15 gold. That is something that we are going to vendor instead of DE. So those are all the points. A lot of these blues, like these cursed tainted legs, these are actually worth just vendoring because so many people are running Grim Batol and stuff as well. So I'm going to open all of these chests now that we've got it from our tiny treasures. And the potion pays for itself. Like, it's 20 gold for a potion, and anytime you get elementals, just the raw gold alone pays for it. You can proc a lot of cloth, which I think is really helpful. Volatiles, ores. You can actually get some greens, like you see with that green of the monkey, some pyrite ore there. And then some of them have everything. Like that chest right there had absolutely everything in it. So it's just a really good, nice, easy farm. So I'm going to turn all of these into bolts. Then I'm going to finish the processing and show you guys exactly what we had. So raw gold, after repairing from dying, we're at 792 raw gold, but we haven't sold our greens, as well as we haven't fully processed all this cloth into bags to sell. So stay tuned, and I will show you exactly what we have at the end. So I'll see you then. Alrighty, guys. So after full loot processing, selling everything, we ended up with 1,114 raw gold. We got 4 greater celestial essences and 31 hypnotic dust, as well as a bunch of other stuff. So we are going to put this all on the AH, see what they sell for. These rings are actually worth putting up on the AH because they are really nice for casters. So I would highly recommend that you put those up there. Then the Geo knife here actually sells for quite a bit. This was a nice rare drop as well, so we got a bit lucky with that Grim Batol run. Now, what's important is to sell these Celestials, which we rolled 4 of with all of our DEing, and then so we can go up to, we could buy 9 bags, so we could go to 135 cloth, so we are going to need to buy an additional stack of Ember Silk cloth for our cost of goods, just so we can, round this off for the bag totals. So we're going to buy 18 of that for minus 20 gold, and then we are going to buy 104 hypnotic dust, which obviously cuts into our profits a little bit, but it is very worth it in the end because we are going to make 9 Ember Silk bags that we are going to sell. So this is utilizing tailoring and enchanting, which tailoring just makes more cloth drop on the whole, and then we're able to make these bags, these Ember Silk bags here, and get some really nice profit out of them all nice and quick like this. So we'll make these extra bolts of Ember Silk cloth, and then we will put all 9 of these Ember Silk bags on the AH and give you your total cost. So I deposited all my gold before that, so this is a true real number of the gold that we have in total. And so we are just sort of finishing this up. Then we're going to put all 9 of these bags on there, and you will see the 801 gold plus whatever all of this stuff that we are AHing for is going to be. So these bags are selling for 149 gold, so that is really good. And then we put all 9 of them up for 1,334 gold right now. And then we can finish selling the rest of these trade materials. You could prospect the Pyrite ore and the Elementium ore, but when it's so little, I don't really see a purpose in that. Honestly, it's just not worth it. And then we're going to sell all this ore, sell these fires. We actually got really lucky with the volatile water and air. They sell quite well, and they sell immediately for people's alchemy purposes. The only one that you really don't want is volatile earth. They sell like nothing and life because they're from mining and herbing and don't have too big of use. But you can get pretty lucky with the volatiles, and then that brings us to our entire total. So it's 796 plus 2,000 gold. So with proper management, proper use, you will be getting approximately 2,800 gold per hour from doing Grim Batol as a tailor. I think you can do this on any tank, but I like Monk the best just because of its speed, as always, and its self-reliance for healing. I think it's really easy. And so another key thing to mention is you cannot forego a lot of the gold costs, and you can bring in people to boost them. If you want to find people to boost and get in there, it is a valid XP boost, but you have to find people 83 to 84 because 83 is the minimum to enter there. They have to travel there. It's just a lot of chaos and hectic to find people that you're willing to boost. But if you are someone that wants to boost people and do that, you can also do that. But this was 3k gold an hour with using a potion of luck finding. So anyway, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.